So in the last video, I discussed the science behind Minecraft's furnace, and if you want to find out how it compares to the real thing, then you can find it in the card over here. I discussed how real world bloomeries compare to these in-game equivalents, and how the Minecraft furnace could be adapted using real world techniques to make iron ingots and glass blocks from ore and sand. At the end of that video, I brought up how weird it is that a single rock of Minecraft coal was able to produce 8 meter cube blocks of solid glass from a single meter cube block of sand. And since writing that, I haven't been able to get this question out of my head. So today, we're doing a part 2, investigating Minecraft's coal and how it can produce so much energy. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Science Of, where I slowly overanalyze your favourite game shows and more. More Minecraft today as we dive into some coal, and we're going to dive into its origin, energy, and how it compares to the real thing. As one of many ways you can fuel your Minecraft furnace, you'll end up mining many bricks of coal throughout your Minecraft worlds, with coal ores dropping as many as 4 pieces of coal, depending on how many fortune enchantments you have on your pickaxe. In the last video, I mentioned that Minecraft's coal was pretty unusual compared to the real world equivalent, with only 1 stone being needed to smelt 8 meter by meter blocks of solid glass. But looking through all of Minecraft's methods of fueling your furnace, coal is a pretty average energy source, able to smelt 8 units of whatever you want to smelt, equal to charcoal and just a bit better than burning a whole boat. Today we're going to look into Minecraft's coal to see just how much energy burning Minecraft's coal releases and how much higher this is when compared to the real thing. So now that we know what coal is capable of, let's take a look at what coal actually is and why it's able to produce such high amounts of energy. Coal is able to release high amounts of energy upon burning, owing to it containing the energy stored by plants that lived hundreds of millions of years ago in swampy forests. Over these millions of years, layers of dirt and rock will cover the plants, resulting in pressure and heat that turns the plants into what we'd call coal. This coal can then be classified into a few main types, depending on the amount of carbon present and the amount of heat energy the coal can produce. These are anthracite, bituminous, subbituminous, and lignite. The rank of the coal deposit is determined by the amount of pressure and heat that's applied to the plant over time. Out of these groups, the only one we really care about is anthracite, the type of coal that contains the most carbon, typically between 86 and 97%. This coal is pretty rare and is typically used in metal industries as it gives off the most heat, so now we know how coal is formed. It's time to get down to some smelting to see just how much energy would be needed to melt down enough iron for a meter by meter solid cube. For the purpose of this video, we won't be looking at the energy required to turn sand into glass, because common soda glass used for housing is only around 70 to 74% silica sand, and then the rest is made up of ingredients such as nitrogen dioxide, sodium carbonate and calcium oxide, which makes up the remaining 26 to 30%. And given that we're looking specifically at Minecraft blocks, we might as well go with the simplest version. To figure out how much energy is being used to melt the iron, first we need to figure out how many kilograms of iron is used to make one solid cube. This is very easy to calculate, as all we need to do is find the density of iron. But this isn't exactly so simple, as there are different varieties of iron. These include pig iron, wrought iron and cast iron, and the main differences between these is the number of impurities. Out of these varieties, wrought iron is iron in its purest form, containing less than 0.04% carbon. This iron is very soft and is often used in wiring and other electrical applications. Then we have pig iron, otherwise known as crude iron, which contains about 4% carbon and many other impurities such as silicon, manganese and phosphorus. This iron is hard but also very brittle, with almost no plasticity, meaning that it can't be forged. Finally, we have cast iron. Cast iron is made by melting pig iron with scrap iron and tends to have fewer carbon atoms than the previous variety. Seeing as we're looking at iron that is cast into the shape of ingots and solid blocks, we'll use the density of cast iron, which is 7,300 kilograms per meter cubed, as opposed to wrought iron, which has a density of 7,860 kilograms per meter cubed, or pig iron, which has a density that can range between 6,500 and 7,800 kilograms per meter cubed. Now, given what we learnt about metallurgy in the last episode, we could add a flux to the crucible in order to lower the melting temperature of the iron. And of course, to make it as easy as possible, the kilogram of iron would need to be in as small a form as possible, preferably tiny nuggets, to give the largest possible surface area for melting. Given that we know the mass of a 1 meter cube block of iron, we can now use the latent melting point of iron to get some idea as to how much energy the Minecraft coal is giving off. Cast iron will generally require 96 kilojoules of energy to melt down 1 kilogram of iron. We know that we have 7,300 kilograms of iron in our meter by meter iron block, and we can calculate our required temperature by multiplying 7,300 by 96 kilojoules per kilogram to give us a required energy of 700,800 kilojoules of energy. So now we know how much energy is required to melt down our kilogram of iron. All we need to do is compare this energy to the energy released by 1 kilogram of coal to see how many grams of regular coal would be needed to melt down 9 iron ingots. Before we do this, it is important to note that whatever energy resides inside that kilogram of coal, you won't be getting the same energy out when you burn it. No energy source is 100% efficient. Energy won't always be converted into the type of output you want. With burning coals, you get energy being converted into light, noise, and heat. Whilst we can't figure out exactly how much energy would be wasted in a bloomery, we can use a coal-fired power station as an example. These systems are constantly being investigated to see how efficiently they run, and most modern coal-fired power plants are around 30% efficient, with most of this weight coming from the burning of coal. This means around 62% of the energy being released when the coal is burnt is being wasted. In fact, this efficiency is so bad that it can take as much as twice the amount of coal as expected to produce the thermal energy necessary for the same amount of electrical energy. 1 kilogram of coal contains 29,307 kilojoules of energy, which isn't quite at our goal of 700,800 kilojoules to melt the iron. But before we calculate how many kilograms of coal we would need, let's first calculate our 30% efficiency to see how much useful energy we're getting per kilogram of coal. This is easy to do. We divide 29,307 by 100 to get 1% efficiency, 293.07 kilojoules, and then multiply this by 30 to give us 8,792 kilojoules of useful energy per kilogram of coal. If we divide the amount of energy we want by the amount of energy we have, we'll get the number of kilograms of coal required to form 1 meter cubed of solid iron. Dividing 700,800 kilojoules by 8,792 kilojoules of energy tells us that we would require around 80 kilograms of coal to smelt down 7,300 kilograms of iron. That's not a great ratio, but this does illustrate just how much energy is released by our Minecraft coal, where 2 nuggets are needed to smelt enough ingredients for a single iron block, with 1 nugget smelting 6,488 kilograms out of the 7,300 kilograms that make up the cubic meter iron block. Now, if we were to assume that Minecraft's coal has the same efficiency as the real thing, then this will only be 30% of its total energy. Melting down 6,488 kilograms of iron would require around 622,848 kilojoules of energy. Given this is 30%, we divide this 622,828 by 30 and then multiply it by 100 to get the total energy held by our coal nugget, which is a staggering 2,076,160 kilojoules of energy. This is a pretty sizable amount of energy from a single brick of coal, producing more energy than burning 45 kilograms worth of petrol or diesel. And considering that 1 litre of diesel is equal to 0.7 kilograms, you'd have over 33 litres worth of energy. If you were driving across the UK in a straight line, that would allow you to travel over 2/3 the width of the country. On a single brick of coal, that's pretty damn good. So there we go. Minecraft's coal may not supply you with the power of the sun in the palm of your hand, but it's still incredibly more powerful than a real thing. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to help combat the ever-changing and frustrating YouTube algorithm, make sure you share the video to help my channel grow. If you have any scientific subject or topic that you'd like to see me cover in the future, then please tell me in the comments down below. As well as that, follow me on Twitter to get updates on the latest science of, and join my Discord for chats about science, gaming and more. But until then, this has been the Science of Minecraft. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you're looking for more game-based content, then you can join me over on Twitch, where I live stream 3 times a week playing all manner of games suggested by the community. Or if you want to support the channel even further, you can also contribute to my Patreon, where you'll get behind the scenes access to the creation of all videos, as well as getting access to my private Minecraft server, where you can join me in building up a city.